All right, good morning, scientists. So today, your study guide. So what I'd like you to do, hopefully you've got your study guide complete, right? All right, good. Go ahead, get your study guide. I'm gonna go over the answers right now, all right? So, I'll wait, go ahead, get it. No, like really, go get it right now. Go get it, bring it out. That way, as I go over the answers, guess what? You could correct them. All right, so, yeah, you too, make sure you get it. All right, so everybody's got their study guide now. So first of all, let's go over the answers there. The first question was about what makes something defined as part of the solar system. If it orbits around the sun, it's part of the solar system. So that's the key thing there. Anything orbiting our sun is part of our solar system. The next part there, what shape are the orbits? They are ellipses. So orbits are ellipses. Number 3, going on down, what are the 2 things that could make the force of Earth's gravity weaker? If the Earth had less mass, so the Earth that I'm standing on, if it was less massive, I would have less weight, therefore there'd be less gravity. The other thing, if I were further away from the Earth's surface, so if I went way up into space, gravity is going to have less of an effect on me. So we could also make Earth's gravity weaker by just getting farther away from the Earth. So 1, if Earth's mass is less, there's less gravity. 2, the farther away from the surface, there's less gravity affecting us as well. Moving on down, number 4. What is a nebula? A nebula was the precursor, or what came before the solar system. And a nebula is a giant cloud of gas and dust. So next one, how does gravity affect a nebula to form a star or a solar system? Gravity pulls it all together, so it makes it collapse and form into a solar system. Moving on, next one here. So as new knowledge was gained using telescopes in the 1600s, we were able to get a more accurate model of our solar system, which is true. So that is definitely true. Better observations using telescopes leads to more accurate models. That's a whole scientific method question right there. Moving on, next one. Let's see, we have a heliocentric model is the model in which the sun is at the center. So heliocentric model, the sun is at the center. And number 9, when were Uranus and Neptune discovered? You kind of had to look that one up, but that's going to be a clue to the next answer. So they were discovered in 1781 and 1846. I'm not going to ask you that on the test, but the important thing to know is that they weren't discovered until much later. So these models of the solar system were developed in the 15 and 1600s, and those early models did not include Neptune and Uranus. Why? Because that brings us to number 9, and it says, why were Uranus and Neptune not part of those early models? Because they weren't discovered yet. So they weren't discovered until the 1700s and 1800s. That's why they weren't in those models from Galileo and Kepler and Copernicus. You never saw anything about Neptune and Uranus there. Last one, number 10. A comet's orbit is highly eccentric. In other words, it's a really extreme oval shape. So it's really flattened out. Sometimes it's really close to the sun, sometimes it's further away. The question is, when does it orbit fastest? So it orbits fastest when it's closest to the sun. Even the Earth's orbit, even though it's not very eccentric, we are a little bit closer to the sun at some point of the year and a little further away. Believe it or not, we're actually a little closer to the sun in our winter time in the northern hemisphere than we are in the summertime. But when objects are closer to the sun in their orbit, they actually orbit and move a little faster. All right, so that's it for the study guide. So use that study guide to guess what? To study for the test. So you could use that on the test, but still make sure you go over it, review it ahead of time. Also the vocabulary, parts 1 and 2, make sure you use that to study as well. Parts 1 and 2 will be on the test. You have to know those things. The vocabulary part 3 that you're working on today, that's actually introducing the next unit about the solar system. So part 3 vocabulary, that's going to go with our next module that starts after the test. So that's coming up real soon. Don't forget, we have the Mods Challenge extra credit that you could work on. You can see here is a few pictures that I had Kevin and Sophia work on. They were doing the flotation lab, and also they were working on the zip line activity. So don't forget to check those out in the module for the extra credit. That's coming up real soon. All right, so that's it. As always, if you have any questions, email me. We could arrange a call, whatever you need. And until then, stay curious.